I think sometimes I forget just how long some of these artists have been around and just how much they have shaped their respective music industry and genre. Today I want to check out Sound City Soundtrack, the song From Can to Can't featuring Corey Taylor, Dave Grohl, Rick Nielsen, and more. Today's shout out goes to Justin. Thank you for your support on my Buy Me a Coffee page and making this suggestion. What is this about? When you hear the phrase from can to can't, what does that mean? Usually I would think of it the other way around, right? I couldn't do something, now I can. This one is flipped. So I'm very intrigued by what this might be about. Thank you for this suggestion. We're going to dive in together. This song, at least
This is how your parents used to make albums, kids.
Okay, this aged well, huh? This is how your parents used to make albums.
This is how your parents used to make albums, kids.
Under the water, it's gold and it's gray.
He's got an awesome voice.
My torrid autumn, another season decays. Open up the hollow, and my walls come down.
I love that subtle rasp in his voice. Still, we're going easy still. There's probably way more that he can do vocally, but I love how we're easing in. Love that riff that carries it all right now. Everything's kind of fading in, building up, but I love that little rasp in between. Adds character to the voice.
I tell you it's a problem just when no one's around. But then I know what's wrong. God, you complicated everything. I know you're gone, gone, gone.
Ooh.
This is where I will draw my line. I will draw my line.
That riff, I'm gonna go back a bit, but that do 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 almost sounds like a siren or like some type of alarm. That repetitive looping of that particular chord progression in that riff sounds very alarming for some reason, and it fits. It fits to what I think this song is about. My goodness, this is pretty epic. The description says a mega performance of a powerful song. That when the drums kick in, that's an awesome build up.
I will draw my line. Burning my cathedrals, 'cause I don't pray anymore. Look at all these people, tragic little people. They're smiling and they don't know what for. But then I know
The harmonies.
what's wrong. God, you complicated everything. I know you're gone, gone, gone. This is where I will blur my line. complicated everything.
Oh, what he just did with his voice. This is legendary. Every one of these guys, these are true artists that have perfected their craft. You can just see that these are lovers of music. These are artists. These are smiths of their craft. I freaking love it. Corey's voice is just on another level. That rasp that he brings in. I am amazed at this guy's voice. That rasp, the grit. Right here, we're going to go back just a little bit as everything softens down and that crescendo calms down just a bit. We had that beautiful build up, everything going ham. It's crazy because the feeling that I get from this composition is the way that sometimes music pieces full of orchestras, when you have a full orchestra or a whole lot of stringed instruments and you have a lot of that drama, that crescendo buildup that makes you feel all kinds of things. A lot of times certain performances have that and they bring the orchestra in to create that feeling. They did this here without that. And yet it's this beautiful buildup between guitar, the bass, his vocals, the layering and stacking of his vocals, the harmonies. Corey Taylor is a phenomenal vocalist. I mean, incredible. And then Dave Grohl here, I want to say it in German, Dave Grohl, going ham.
Worth it. I didn't even tell you my name, but then I know what's wrong.
You hear that, like almost that little, it's so fitting to the emotion of this song.
God, you complicated everything.
You hear that?
I know you're wrong. God, you took it all away from me. I know that you're gone, gone, gone. This is where I will cross my line. I am crossing my line.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah, 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 motherfucker. Yeah.
This is true art. You guys, AI will never be able to hold a candlestick to this kind of music. I love how in the beginning he said, hey kids, this is how we used to record albums. That's true music to me, true lovers of music. Dave was going ham on the guitar. Rick Nielsen, what an amazing guitarist and artist. Corey's voice, they all worked together so legendary, so beautifully. Imagine being in the studio, being in a room with all these legends, these artists, these musicians, these lovers of their craft, and these experts at their craft coming together, making something beautiful. And yet, it's not this fake performance of false perfection. Oh, look what we can do. We're so good at what we do, and it's all just perfect. They keep the humanity and the emotion, and I think that's what makes them the true artists. Is that not only are they good at what they do, not only are they giving us something beautiful, but they're actually putting real human experience and real human emotion into their work. Under the water, it's cold and it's gray. My torrid autumn, another season decays. Open up the hollow and my walls come down. I tell you it's a problem just when no one's around. I love the agony that's being portrayed in these lyrics and the storytelling that I'm gathering. Under the water, it's cold and gray. I can picture being underwater. I can feel the cold and the gray, if you can feel a color for that matter. It's a feeling, it's an emotion, it's an experience that's being evoked here. A torrid autumn. What does the word torrid mean again? Whenever I'm not sure of things, don't judge me. It is a matter of language. My first language is actually German. I mean, I grew up bilingual, but it was always in Germany. So torrid is an adjective meaning very hot and dry, passionate, full of intense emotions, or very fast and successful. Wow, a torrid autumn. Usually we want autumn to be that golden October, right? That beautiful fall leaves, everything's wonderful. We're thinking of apple pies and playing in the leaves, and things are peaceful and calming down for the year. For an autumn to be torrid, hot, dry, passionate, it sounds very miserable. We went from a cold and gray to torrid autumn. Another season decays. Open up the hollow and my walls come down. Open up the hollow. Hollow meaning something being empty. You open up what's already empty. Walls come down. I tell you it's a problem just when no one's around. A picture of a human being in turmoil, and at the same time, a very human nature inspired image that's being painted here of someone who I believe is feeling empty and hurting. It could be a conversation about depression, someone who is really in that gray, experiencing autumn that feels torrid to them, a season decaying. This is not someone enjoying the seasons and understanding that change can be hard, yes, but beautiful at the end. This is decay. This is a conversation about things being cold and gray. A person who feels empty. I tell you it's a problem just when no one's around. This part, to me, is beautiful because I think at our core, we long to make ourselves, to lay ourselves bare, to tell someone about how hollow we really feel or how we're struggling in an intimate way. We long for human connection, and that is hard to do when other people are around. Most people, for one, it's hard for us to believe that we can trust them if we don't know them, especially. Two, when you feel hollow and bare and depressed and hurting, that's not something you want to share with a group of people. You long for someone who can see you and know you, and that has to be done in an intimate setting. But then I know what's wrong. God, you complicated everything. I know you're gone. This is where I will draw my line. I will draw my line. Such powerful lyrics. Obviously, I'm sure the songwriters meant their own, thing about this. So if I interpret this in a way that you know to not be what the song was meant for or what the original songwriter intended it for, keep in mind, music is art. Art is subjective. And before I look into what this song meant to the songwriters, I want to interpret it in my way. I think there's something beautiful about coming into something blind and experiencing a song and looking at it from various lenses and trying to open our mind beyond, well, this is what the song was about or supposed to be about or what the singer said it was about. Let art be art. And the beautiful thing about art is when you let it be for you what you need it to be, it can actually be healing. Sure, sometimes the originally intended meaning can be healing too. But when you let things be what they need you to be like water, as the saying goes, I think sometimes healing can reach even further and deeper and beautiful. To me, it's beautiful to be able to make something your own. To me, I think that this could be taken many ways. On one hand, I think it could be a wrestling with your faith, with your beliefs, with God. God, you complicated everything. Of course, this could be an expression about a person. We say this to another human being. God, why are you being so difficult? Talking about this person, not to the being of God, if you will. But this could very well also be toward God, in my opinion, when someone is wrestling with their faith, when someone is struggling with their mental health, when someone is struggling with things decaying, with their death anxieties, with the end of things. We wrestle with God. We wrestle with the questions, if there is a God, if yes or not, feeling like everything's being complicated. I know you're gone, to me, can be taken as someone who actually died, especially because of the way he tags it. When someone dies, when we come face to face with death and our mortality, it has us wrestling with it, negotiating, anger, sadness, all the stages of grief that you've probably heard of. And so to tag this line, to tag this word, I know you're gone, 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 could be a way of repeating it in order to try to process it, try to make sense of it, to try to convince your own mind of something you know to be true but don't want to believe. It could be out of agony, right? You're gone, gone, gone. I'm saying it again and again. I'm spiraling into this place of despair. It could be about the end of a relationship, someone that you longed to be vulnerable with, someone that you wanted to tell all your problems to when no one's around, just in the intimate setting between you and I. But this person complicated everything. They're gone now. This is where I will draw my line. It's interesting because drawing a line usually to me would be a conversation about boundaries. I drew a line here. You cannot not cross this line. This is how far I will go and no further, or how far I will let you go and no further. I'm burning my cathedrals because I don't pray anymore. Now, here's back to where I think this could be very well someone wrestling with their faith. Because when you're burning your cathedrals, the very place, the building, the sanctuary where you would go to seek God, to worship, to fellowship with other believers, this is the thing you're burning. I don't pray anymore. Look at all of these people, tragic little people. They're smiling and they don't know what for. Very, very interesting. There's a level of bitterness, perhaps, cynicism, frustration with faith, with God, having felt or feeling like you have been abandoned. You're weary of it. You don't pray anymore. Your faith is gone. I think that I can appreciate whenever, religion or not, a believer of any religion or atheist or whatever, which is a belief in and of itself as well, in my opinion, whatever your faith and belief, I can respect I appreciate when people are honest about their struggle. Whatever their conclusion, if they come back to their faith or not, I appreciate the honesty here of a human being that is experiencing life and that is frustrated with it, that is honest enough, willing enough to say, I don't do that anymore. I've burned this. I don't pray anymore. Look at all these people. They're smiling, but what for? I hear a level of bitterness perhaps because are these people really smiling and they don't know what for? Could it be that there are people in those cathedrals and in those places who are smiling and they do know what for? They have a reason? I think so. We're not in other people's lives as much as people can't question my experiences because they're mine. Who am I to question theirs and their beliefs? And at the same time, however, there are a lot of people, I think, especially in the religious context, that do smile, that do go through the motions, that pray, that quote verses and live their lives, and they don't really know what for. You dig a little deeper, you ask them why they believe what they believe, and they're stunned. You ask them what they're smiling for, and they're speechless. And here I see a person who's in agony, who's hurting, and who's frustrated at the fakeness around him, people smiling and they don't know what for. I don't pray anymore. I hear anger. I hear honesty, though, and I appreciate it. Then I know what's wrong. God, you complicated everything. I appreciate that switch. He's going through his experience. Oh, when you open up the hollow, my walls come down. I've burned my cathedrals. I don't pray anymore. And every time when we go back to the chorus, he says, but then there's this turning back to what you know to be true for yourself in that moment. I know what's wrong, right? I'm expressing my frustration. I'm expressing my questions. Why are these people smiling? No one's around. We would tell you my problems when no one's around. I'm feeling lost. I'm hurting. This is where I draw the line. And he comes back to the chorus, but then I know what's wrong. It's that common red thread, that thing that he has decided for himself. God, you complicated everything. Why did you have to make it so difficult? And I hear so much pain in this song, a pain perhaps of someone who has died. And when someone does die and when they're gone, it leaves us with so much anger. It leaves us feeling so helpless. It feels like everything's been complicated. God, you complicated everything by dying. Why did you have to die? Or telling God directly, God, you complicated everything. Maybe a breakup, right? Which can feel like a death to some people. You're gone. Our houses are haunted, dark and deserted. They're made of my secrets and shame. Maybe I'm wanted, but now I'm not worth it. Wow. I can't even sell you my name. Oh my gosh. These lyrics, this level of songwriting. Oh my gosh. You guys, our houses are haunted. The imagery that's being painted here of complete dismay, complete desertion, complete abandonment, made of secrets and shame. So many people are dealing with exactly this in the face of a separation, in the face of death, in the face of their own battle with their own faith, the questions about the meaning of life. So many of us know what it's like to carry secrets, to carry shame deep, deep, deep down inside. We may stay busy. We may try to act like everything's fine, but we carry it deep within. Maybe I'm wanted, but now I'm not worth it. Maybe there is someone who wants me. Maybe I am desired, wanted. Maybe there would be someone who would love me, but I'm not worth it. I don't deserve this. I can't even sell you my name. That level of feeling worthless. I can't even sell you my name. Obviously, I don't have things or anything of myself to give, but not even my name. The very same thing that was given to me that I didn't even give myself. Not even that I can sell you. And then it goes back to the chorus. But then, again, that switch back to what he feels or knows to be true. I know what's wrong. God, you complicated everything. I know you're wrong. And that switch is interesting to me. We went from I know you're gone to now saying I know you're wrong. God, you took it all away from me. I wonder if this is about losing someone and maybe being hurt, mad at this person for leaving, which is very human. When we grieve, it is human to be angry at the deceased person that they left you. Even though you know in logic it wasn't their fault if they died from a disease or if they were struggling with mental health and ended their life or whatever the reason, maybe whatever led this separation. In theory, we often know that there are things out of our control and that it's more complex than just, black and white. It's not a black and white topic. It's nuanced. And in theory, we know that. But our mind, our heart, our nervous system, the pain our body is feeling cannot accept the situation we're in. It's this idea that if you've experienced trauma, for example, and something triggers that, your body responds, your nervous system responds. So even though your mind might know that the person that just said that thing that triggered you didn't mean it the way that the people that have hurt you in the past had meant it. Even if your brain knows that you're not in that same dangerous situation anymore, your body thinks you are. And it doesn't matter what you tell yourself. That's why positive affirmations are helpful and they can be good for us, but they only go so far. Your body, your nervous system has to actually experience a healthy situation, a healthy relationship. Your nervous system has to actually, your brain has to be rewired, new neural pathways being formed by your body experiencing new things, by your nervous system experiencing the calm. And so when you've been triggered, when you're hurting physically, when your nervous system is triggered, you can tell yourself all day long that this is not what the person meant. You're not really in a dangerous situation. Everything will be fine. You understand why that person left or why the relationship ended. In theory, you understand why that person died. But your body, your nervous system is perceiving the threat, the loss, the pain. And that's what you're reacting to. It's almost like we can't help it until we find ways for our body to heal, for our nervous system to find safety and peace, for new neural pathways to be formed. And when someone dies, even though we know that maybe, it wasn't anybody's fault, if you will, we still are looking for someone to blame. We're still trying to make sense of this. And the honesty here of saying, you complicated everything. I know you're wrong. Now we went from you're gone to you're wrong. God, you took it all away from me. Maybe someone here ended their life and there's this anger towards that person. I know you're gone. And now saying, I know you're wrong. You're wrong for doing that to me. I love the honesty because that's a real feeling. That anger towards that person, even if you understand they were hurting or they were ill or whatever, it's still wrong. It's still not okay. But also that blame towards God. God, you took it all away from me. This is your fault, God. You're wrong. Even if this is towards God, I love that honesty. Because if God is really God, if there is a God that is omnipotent and omnipresent, he can handle that. He can handle us. A truly loving parent will be able to handle a child that says, you're wrong. You hurt my feelings, Mom. Is it uncomfortable? Yes. Do we always respond perfectly? Obviously not. But I have so much love for my kids that they can blame me. They can talk to me. If they're wrong about it, we might have a conversation and I'll correct you. If you disrespect me, you might get in trouble to a degree. There's a relationship here, but it's not the kind where you're supposed to blindly and obediently, blindly obey me and be silent. And if a parent, a good parent, in my opinion, wants to do that for their kids, if there is really a God, then he can handle that too. He can handle us saying to him, God, you took it all away from me. God or not God, I love the honesty of this human experience. I know you're gone. This is where I will cross my line. And that's which is powerful. We went from drawing the line. This is where I will draw my line. I'm setting that boundary to I will blur my line. I'm blurring it. I'm willing to adjust the boundaries. I'm willing to kind of undo that line. Maybe it's not quite as set in stone as I believe. This is where I will cross my line. This is where I'm going to cross it. This is where I will go past what I had decided for myself. Blah. I mean, this is genius, you guys. This is genius to me. The summary, it says that it's a slow burning post-grunge rock ballad from the sound, it's just a mouthful, from the Sound City, reel-to-reel documentary soundtrack. Lyrically and emotionally, the song explores the painful process of dealing with a painful breakup or betrayal, moving from deep feelings of being wronged and complicated heartache into a powerful sense of personal resolve, boundaries, and redemption. Yes, I do think that it can very much be about a breakup, saying I've draw the line, I'm not going to cross it. Now I'm blurring it. Now I'm actually going to cross my line. I drew it, blurred it, crossed it. Drawing the line, a core motive of the track is setting boundaries. The lyrics shift dynamically through the chorus from drawing it to blurring it to ultimately confronting the reality. I do think that my thoughts on it being about death are still very fitting because in grief, you have the same process. You may go from saying, nope, I'm not accepting this. You try to negotiate with death or you simply are in denial. In the beginning, to begin with, there's shock and denial. No, this person is not really dead. Surely they're going to eventually come back and this will all just have been a dream. To eventually things get blurred and our anger and our grief kicks in to eventually crossing that line, perhaps of accepting this is not, I can't undo this. This is it. But I do think that the idea of it being about heartache, about a breakup is fitting because he says you complicated everything. You messed this all up. You are wrong. You're wrong. It's your fault. You complicated everything. I love the fact that this song can be taken in different ways, from being about a breakup and actual pain of being betrayed, of being hurt, to the death of someone you've loved, to wrestling with God. To me, it could be those various things. And I think that's what makes a song so powerful, is when it can be such art that means different things to different people. What an amazing suggestion. Thank you, Justin. What do you guys think about this one? Talk to me in the comments. Make sure to subscribe for more music from around the world, my own music, documentaries, educational videos. Please go check out my Patreon. Be sure to do that because YouTube, things keep changing, and as Knox Hill said in one of his latest videos, there are things that are making it more and more difficult for reaction channels. So if you want to keep going, a great way to support us is to go follow us on our Patreon pages. Go check me out on my Buy Me a Coffee page. The links are all in the description. Subscribe, and I'll see you on the next ride. Ayo!